Hello and welcome to the As Per My Ability podcast, Season 1, Origins, Episode 1. You create your own board as you play a board game? With every end, there is a new beginning, and with every beginning, there is an origin story. This is ours.
Hey everyone, my name is Brad, and I'd like to share my board gaming origin story with all of you. Spring 2010 included the sad event of my grandfather passing away. Even though the loss was difficult, Grandpa's passing did allow me a welcome opportunity to spend time with extended family. My wife and I were happy to have my cousin Sean and his wife Jess stay at our home. Sean and I have always enjoyed hanging out with each other. It seems we always have something new to share whenever we meet. This visit, however, would really be life-changing for me. One evening during their visit, we returned to our house. Sean asked if we'd like to play one of the board games he had brought with him. I always enjoyed playing the standard fare board games, so I gladly accepted. He brought out two games that I hadn't ever heard of before, Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne. Ticket to Ride was described as a game where you lay trains out on a map of the U.S. and try to complete routes. Sean described Carcassonne as a game where you lay down tiles to make cities and roads, and you actually create the board as you play. You create your own board as you play a board game? That sounded amazing! I quickly decided that Carcassonne was the game that I wanted to try. Sean quickly explained the rules, and we started playing the game with our wives. I don't remember who won, but I'll never forget how exciting the puzzle of the game was for me. The rules were fairly simple, but the decisions were intriguing. The engineer in me couldn't help but love this. I had grown up playing many standard kids' board games and moving on to mass market games like Monopoly, Yahtzee, Taboo, and Trivial Pursuit. Those games were fine, but they just wore out their welcome after a few plays. I played a ton of Magic the Gathering with my friends in high school and early college years. I spent many nights building new decks and experimenting with them. Unfortunately, I burned out on the game after finding that the people who spent the most money on their decks started winning the majority of the games. Carcassonne was a different animal, though. The design was creative, and there weren't any dice. You actually made meaningful decisions while playing instead of letting the game play you. I went to a local game store a couple of weeks later and bought a Carcassonne big box. I played Carcassonne with my wife and friends several times before I began questioning how many other games like this were out there. I needed to research Ticket to Ride, the other game Sean had introduced. Google quickly brought me to the Board Game Geek website, and the world of board gaming opened up to me. Ticket to Ride and another popular game, Dominion, were quickly added to my collection. The Board Game Geek Hot Deals forum helped me to expand my collection immensely over the next few years. I love so many of the new game mechanisms that these games introduced. My favorite games have changed over the years. I first loved Carcassonne, then the original deck builder Dominion. I took a chance on buying a more complex, popular selection, and next loved the punishing cooperative game Robinson Crusoe. I adored the crunchy, point-salad Stefan Feld games Trajan and the Castles of Burgundy. They will probably always be in my top 20. My current favorites are Great Western Trail and Five Tribes. Well, Five Tribes as long as we play with 3 players anyway. I'm a sucker for games with Mancala mechanisms, and the puzzles of what we call Euro games keep drawing me back. My board gaming hobby has really allowed me to stay close with several of my old friends and to meet many new friends. The hobby is very welcoming, and it seems most gamers are more than happy to introduce new people to their favorite games. I've always been introverted, and board gaming has allowed me opportunity to invite new players and new friends to my house and to be welcome in the homes of others. I've learned a lot about how to better interact with others and how to be more comfortable around new people. There really is a spot in the hobby for just about anybody. I invite anybody and everybody to give some of the newer designer board games a chance. There are so many wonderful designs to discover. Who knows, you might even find some great new friends just like I have. Once again, I'm Brad, and you've just listened to my board gaming origin story. Thanks for coming along on the ride. I hope you find as much joy in board gaming as I have.